There are growing signs the Trump administration could use ground troops in the war with Iran, perhaps to reopen the Strait of Hormuz or even to seize Iranian islands. But how realistic would such an operation be, and how likely is it that it would work?
It would not be easy. It would be a major military operation, but the United States has the pieces in place to do it.
If I were in Vegas and I were betting, I would say it's most likely that we will see some kind of amphibious operation once the appropriate combat power has been marshaled in the area.
The US has now ordered at least 5,000 more troops towards the Middle East. The USS Tripoli and another warship are carrying around 3,500 sailors and Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. A second Marine Expeditionary Unit, led by the USS Boxer with another 2,000 Marines, is now also sailing from San Diego. At least 1,500 more troops from the 82nd Airborne Division are also now deploying. The Pentagon says the first Marine Expeditionary Unit has now arrived. One possibility is the US might attempt to seize Karg Island, through which Iran exports 90% of its oil.
We did Iwo Jima. We can do this. I don't know if you take the island or you blockade the island, but I know this. The day we control that island, this regime, this terrorist regime, has been weakened. It will die on a vine.
If the Marines can get there, I think seizing it would be relatively easy. The problem is getting there, because any Marine unit would have to transit the straits and then go up the Persian Gulf with the Iranians shooting at them the whole time. There's a lot of risk in that.
The US could also attempt to seize islands in the Strait of Hormuz as part of an operation to reopen it. But the real danger could begin after the US manages to take the islands. Its troops would risk being isolated and picked off by Iranian drone and artillery fire from the coast. It would also likely mean the war goes on far longer. What we also hear from experts here in the Gulf is that people are overly fixated on the Strait of Hormuz. They say that even if the strait is reopened, if Iran is still able to hit oil and gas facilities here with missiles and drones, they won't be able to operate, and that will mean that the energy crisis goes on.
Seizing these islands in the strait, while it will strengthen our hand and leverage in negotiations, will not be enough to make them capitulate. One of the things we've seen throughout this campaign is that battlefield success and military accomplishment does not always translate readily into a strategic victory or achieving our political goals.